Broadcasting live from SETI Alpha 6 in the Andromeda Galaxy, this is Mr. C.
Well, mi amigos, I have my binos out and I am looking at the weekend. I can see it from here, as in it's going to start tomorrow at the end of the day. So tomorrow, Friday, huh? So happy Thursday to you. And boy, do we have a lot to cover today. I'm going to have to talk fast. There is so much to do, and maybe even a little video at the end. That is awesome, if there's time. We'll see. If not, I'll get it in the next couple of days. I can't give you any hints about it. You'll be angry at me that I didn't show it to you. So we wouldn't want that now, would we? Okay. Test tomorrow. Now, if you are a wise doobie, you are going to put everything down that I say that's going to be on the test. You're going to use your verse sheet. You're going to use your lesson summaries, 9 through 14. You're going to make little notes on this. You're going to pay attention. If you're an RLO student, you're going to pay extra special attention. So if, let's say, for instance, you don't have LS 9 to 14, you're going to pay really close attention and make some notes. I'm going to go slowly, okay? And there'll be a little break. So for Mr. Gilbert to clarify anything for you. So in the meantime, you've got your white sheet, number to 12 on your white sheet. While you're listening to me talk, you've got your homework and your lesson planner, right? You're putting it in. Okay, test tomorrow. It's all about astronomy. It's the astronomy test, big astronomy test, big one. How big? I'm guessing 40 to 50 points. Could even go over 50. Don't take it lightly. Triple R it big time. It's a lot of points. I'm telling you. Okay, we've got 101D, page 101D worksheet to grade in a little while. So like I say, we have a lot to do. You need a red pen out. Red pen. So all of the above, you're numbering to 12 on your white sheet again. Okay? And while you're numbering, you can listen to me. There is that planet trifecta, meaning three planets that are available in the night sky. If you haven't used it this quarter, I'm going to let you. So if you point out Mars in the east in the evening, say 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, the sun's going down way earlier now, 7-ish probably you can see it. Mars in the east, the orange planet, not red, the orange planet. And then in the south, you've got the ever closer Saturn and Jupiter closing on each other for the great event in December, the Great Conjunction, like no other in 400 years. Big deal. So anyway, and you can look at them tonight and go, hey, they're getting closer and closer to each other. Yes, they are. So what am I going to give you? Well, if you point out to your parents Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn, right on a sheet of paper, I showed Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn to a parent. You sign your name. Actually, you, at the upper right-hand corner, name, date, period, printed so I can see who you are, because I'm not going to be able to know who you are if your parents' signature's there, and that's it. I won't be able to read it. So, you know how they write. So, anyway, that's worth 10 points. The planet trifecta. If you go for the quad, you go for all 4 planets, then I'm going to pay you 15 points, because you're going to have to get up early in the morning, 6-ish, to point out Venus, the super brightest object in the night sky, except for the moon. Brightest object in the night sky, except for the moon. I said night sky, except for the moon. Venus number 2, moon number 1. Anyway, Venus is up there in the east, pointed out. It is stunning. And you get all 4 planets, 15 points, 15 over 15. Hey, go for it. It is available to all students. If you haven't already done the planet thing, and I don't think you have this quarter. So I'm just throwing it out there to you. Okay, now what is on the test? Here's where you really pay attention. Okay, you really pay attention. I'm going to ask you to write Psalm 19:1. What is it going to be worth? probably a point. The heavens declare the glory of God. The skies proclaim the works of his hands. Proclaim means to reveal, to maybe even shout. And you look at the night sky and all those objects Jesus spoke into existence out of nothing proclaim his glory big time. Okay? And they basically say, God made me. God made me. That's what Mars and Saturn and Jupiter are saying. God made me. God made me. They just couldn't have formed accidentally. So you're going to write Psalm 19:1. And what does it mean? Just the objects in the night sky that God made reveal his glory, or also reveal that he made them. They're evidence for the creation. Exhibit A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Keep on going. You're going to need a really big alphabet to include all the exhibits. So anyway, Science Bible Sheet, Psalm 19:1. Okay, next, what do I have on here? What do you have to know? You've got to know all the planet data. So all the planet data that's included in this bunch of lesson summaries. So in LS 9, 10, 11, all the planet data. All the individual planet data. Okay? All the specific data about the inner and outer planets. I'll get to that in a little bit. So I'm going to actually ask you to do a planet match in a little bit. Okay. Do we have to do My Very Educated Mother? Yep. My very educated mother just served us 9 pizzas. So that was the country western version. You're lucky to have heard the country western version. Okay. So I include pizza in there for Pluto. I'm sticking it in there anyway. Don't care. So it didn't evolve. Okay. God designed it. Stuck it up there. So I'm going, it's a planet. So the My Very. So my Mercury, very Venus, educated Earth, Mother, Mars, and so on. You're going to have to write it out, know it. So guarantee it's going to be on there. Are you putting things down anywhere? Lesson summaries, journals? Okay. Mr. C, did you have too much caffeine this morning? Perhaps. Perhaps. It is a possibility. You're going to have to know what the solar system includes. It's right in here in the lesson summaries. The solar system equals sun, planets, their satellites, aka moons. What else? It also includes asteroids, chunks, big chunks of rock. It also includes comets, meteors and meteorites. And I'll get to that when we get back here to the back of the lesson summaries. So I am going to ask you about, here they are. If you'll turn right now to LS14. LS14. Did I mention LS14? Please turn to it. Pretty sure we didn't go over it. Get ready to circle a few things. And get ready not to circle a few things. I'm just going to have you know the basics. First, you've got the chunks of rocks. Chunks of rocks that exist in a couple of belts where there's a whole bunch of them. The belt part just means there's a whole lot of them. It's big, the number of asteroids. So, and here's what it says about asteroids right there by my index finger. Asteroids, right there. So circle it. Are rocky objects, most of which are too small and too numerous to be considered planets or dwarf planets. Okay, asteroids. I've got a photo right now of the largest asteroid. It's called Ceres. So, Ceres, and making myself a note for a photo. Okay. Largest asteroid, it's about the size of Texas in diameter. It's big. Okay? So, Ceres. Then you've got to know, so there's a couple of belts. The one asteroid belt in between Mars and Jupiter. And then there's the Kuiper belt, which is way beyond Pluto. The Kuiper belt. Okay? And then comets. what are comets? There's a nice photo of a comet right there. And a comet is just an icy head with some rocks embedded in it. Could be tens of miles across. And then as it goes around the sun, it heats up. These are small solar system objects, triple SO objects. Triple SO, small solar system objects. And the comets come around the sun, go back out into space. They melt a little bit as they come around, and they keep coming around. And it's proof, by the way, that the universe is not that old. So how? Why? Well, the comets would have all melted if the universe were like 4.6 billion years old, like evolutionists tell us. They would have all melted. Well, wait a minute, wouldn't there be new ones forming? Well, that's what evolutionists claim. They claim there's a cloud there's a comet factory called the Oort cloud. Oort cloud. So Jan van Oort was a Dutch astronomer, and he said, oh yeah, there's this comet cloud out there making more comets. Okay, what's the date on it? No one's ever seen it. It's made up. Doesn't exist. No one's ever seen the Oort cloud. The only reason they say it is to kind of back up their goofy hypothesis that the universe is that old and that new ones are being made. Never seen any being made, never seen the Oort cloud. It's fictitious. Yet, fake astronomy is what it is. Fake astronomy. So anyway, comets, beautiful objects, long, gassy tails, and you've got that rocky, icy head. Okay, so you got the asteroids, bigger chunks of rock, some the size of Texas in diameter, like Ceres. And then the other two that I want you to circle, the other two down below in the lower box, just meteors and meteorites. Meteors, meteorites, circle them. So you only have 4 things on here that you've got to circle. 4 small solar system objects. You got your asteroids. Well, you got to circle asteroid belt too. So asteroid belt, asteroids, comets, then you got meteors and meteorites. Now, how do you know the difference between a meteor and a meteorite? I'm going to tell you. Here's the Earth. Earth's gravity pulls in little specks of dust. They're the smallest meteors, and they just burn up in the atmosphere. They come through and they collide with the Earth's atmosphere. A lot of friction is produced in heat, and they burn up before they get to the Earth. And that's where we get meteor showers, when we run into a bunch of these small dust-like or dust-size chunks of material. Meteors. Meteor showers. Okay, so you've circled meteor. Now, meteorites are a different story. They're usually bigger than just dust speck size. So a bigger chunk of rock usually, and they come through the atmosphere and don't all burn up, and then they hit the Earth. Meteorites hit the Earth. That's how you know. Meteorite hit the Earth. I'm trying to stick it in your head. Calm down, Mr. C. You really have had too much caffeine. Meteorite hit. That's how you know. The meteors just burn up. Meteor. Burn up in the atmosphere. Meteor, meteorites. Those are the triple SOs, the small solar system objects. So you've circled asteroids, comets, meteors, meteorites, and asteroid belt. Okay. All right, that takes care of LS14. Now, I'm going to let you chat with Mr. Gilbert just for a little bit, and then come back, and we've got a bit more reviewing to do. He's going to clarify for you any questions you have. Hands up. Mr. Gilbert. And here I am again. So what's on the test again? Psalm 19:1, all the planet data, my very educated, what the solar system includes, what the inner planets are like. They're small, they're rocky. This is on one of your lesson summaries. Small, rocky, few or no moons, no rings. They are slow rotators and fast revolvers. Okay, and then the outer planets, what are they like? They're huge by contrast. Huge, Jupiter being the biggest, right? But they're all big. Okay, not as big as Jupiter, but they're big. So huge. What are they made of? Gas. Made of gas. They have gas bands, kind of the lines of different gases that you can see. That as the outer planets rotate, they cause the gas to kind of form in strips. That makes sense? Those are the gas bands. Okay. The outer planets have high winds. They're fast rotators. They're slow revolvers. So what else about the outer planets? They all have rings, right? So, and, oh, how could I forget? Lots of moons. Lots of moons for the outer planets. Okay, so they're going to be on there, the outer planets. What else, Mr. C? LS 9 through 14, I've already said. Okay. And it's time now for a planet match. So I'm going to give you this is how the test will end up being. Some of these questions may even be on the test. Oh, baby, I'm writing these down. You should. Okay, here we go. On your white sheet, number 1. There's a big red spot, which is actually a hurricane, about 3 or 4 Earth sizes in diameter on this planet. Big red spot. Number 1 on the planet match. Number 2, it's a dwarf planet. It's real small. It's actually the smallest planet. Astronomers don't consider it a real planet, but I do. Number 2, dwarf planet. Number 3, it's orange, not red. The orange planet. Number 3, what is it? Number 4, it's a beautiful dark blue. A gorgeous dark blue. It's not the Earth. The Earth isn't this dark. A dark blue. Number 5, it has a really thick carbon dioxide atmosphere, and that causes a very strong GHE, greenhouse effect, where the rays are trapped and turned into heat energy, light energy to heat energy, and it's super hot. It's the hottest planet. So, thick carbon dioxide atmosphere, very strong greenhouse effect, super hot because of it. 900 degrees Fahrenheit, number 5. Number 6, this one has the most beautiful rings. Number 6, the most outstanding rings. Number 7, it has a huge temperature swing. And I'm trying to remember exactly what it is. I think it's something like plus 850 minus 250, about an 1100 degree Fahrenheit temperature swing. So that's number 7. It's caused by being a slow rotator and something else. It's heavily cratered too. It looks like the moon. It's heavily cratered, looks like the moon, because it doesn't have any atmosphere. You told us. I did. Number 7. Slow rotator, no atmosphere. Number 8 is light blue. It's not Earth now, besides Earth. It's light blue. Beauteous, light blue. Also has rings, a lot of moons, light blue. Number 9, it's got a whole lot of just rights. Just right distance from the sun, just right mass, just right gravity, just right electromagnetic field, just right amount of water, on and on. 30, 40, 50 just rights that prove God made it. Yep. And number 10, it has a huge canyon on it. It's like 4 times deeper than our Arizona Grand Canyon. And it's got a massive volcano that you could plunk down and it would cover all of Arizona, almost. So what is that? Number 11, you could die 6 different ways on this planet. It's such a terrible planet. I call it the nasty planet. That would be 11. Number 12, it's got iron oxide in the soil. Rusty soil. Iron that's rusted. Number 12. All right, here are your answers really quick. You don't need a red pen. This was just practice. Number 1, big red spot. That would be Jupiter. Might ask that tomorrow. Are you making a note? It's in your lesson summary. on the outer planets. Big red spot. It's a hurricane. Jupiter. Dwarf planet, Pluto. Orange, Mars. Dark blue, Neptune. Thick carbon dioxide atmosphere, super hot, strong greenhouse effect, okay? And it rotates backwards. That would be Venus. Venus rotates backwards. And by the way, that proves God made it, because if it would have formed with an evolutionary hypothesis, it would rotate the same way as all the other planets, but it doesn't. Rotates the opposite way. It's one of the reasons the Lord made it that way, just so we go, I think the Lord made Venus because it rotates backwards instead of like all the other planets do. So Venus rotates backwards. And what are we on? I think we are on there. It is, the one you could die 6 ways on. So Venus. And number 12, iron oxide, rust. That's why it's orange. That would be Mars. Okay, big red spot, Jupiter, dwarf planet, Pluto, orange, Mars, dark blue, Neptune, thick carbon dioxide atmosphere, really strong greenhouse effect, super hot, 900 degrees Fahrenheit, Venus. It's got the most gorgeous rings, Saturn, number 6, Saturn. Big temperature swing, Mercury, plus 250 minus, try it again, plus 850 minus 250. Mercury, heavily cratered like the moon, looks like the moon. Light blue, that would be Uranus. Just right, Earth. Huge canyon, huge volcano, Mars. You could die 6 ways on this particular planet. All the others except Earth, you could die a few ways, really quick. But on this one, oh boy, it is nasty. Venus. Nasty planet, Venus. Number 12, iron oxide in the soil. I gave it to you already. Mars. Okay? So, Mars. Do we have time for the next thing? Yeah, we do. Okay, now I'm going to do a triple SO. Small solar system object. So you've got to match them. Number 1, big chunks of rock. Sometimes organized in belts that orbit the outer planets. What are they called? So, I don't want the name of the belt. I just want the name of the chunks of rock. The biggest one's about the diameter of Texas. Number 2, these have rocky, icy heads and long gaseous tails. So what are they? Number 3, you could have put these on the back. I should have said that on the back of your white sheet. Number 3, they're as small as dust specks that burn up when they hit the Earth's atmosphere. Some of them are rock sized, but they burn up as well. And then number 4, bigger chunks that go through the atmosphere and hit the Earth. Number 4. All right, here they are. Number 1, chunks of rock organized into belts between Mars and Jupiter, asteroids, or out in the Kuiper Belt way beyond Pluto's orbit. Okay, the biggest one's the size of Texas in diameter, Ceres. Okay, Ceres. And you've already seen a picture of it. And these have rocky, icy heads. They're small solar system objects. Long gaseous tail, comets. Number 2, comets. Number 3, third kind of small solar system object. Dust size, could be rock size, but they burn up in the atmosphere when they collide with the atmosphere. Those would be meteors. And then if it actually hits the Earth, goes through the atmosphere, survives, there's something left over, and it hits the Earth. Meteorite, hit the Earth. Okay? Calm down, Mr. Chambers, calm down. Well, I'm trying to give you some brain glue on that. Stick it in your head. Okay? Now, my goal was to go over everything that was on the test. I think I did. I don't think I missed anything. Okay? Go over the details. Go over the details of the planets. The specific details, like giant red spot. Okay? Like heavily cratered, looks like the moon, details. So make sure you pay attention to those. Okay, I do have enough time for this. I've got a really cool little video I want to show you. And this video is on an amazing kind of animal. And you're seeing a picture of it right now. And then I'm going to show you a little video. So you're seeing a picture of it. It's a chameleon species that for 100 years was thought to have disappeared on the island of Madagascar off of Africa, where most of the world's chameleon species are found. Madagascar off of Africa. So you're looking at this one kind, isn't it beautiful? And now you're going to watch this video and see the divine designs that God gave true chameleons. Now these aren't like the anole chameleon that you get like at a pet store. Those are different. These are true chameleons that have the really cool colored markings on their bodies. And they have independent focusing eyes. One can turret eyes. One could be looking up and the other one looking down. Their brain is wired by God so that it controls each eye separately and each eye turret. How cool is that? They have fantastic gripper feet for hanging on as they're walking on tree branches. And not only that, they can curl their tail around branches and hang on. They've got a super sticky tongue that they can shoot out and hit an insect, and it sticks to it, and then pull it back and eat it. So that's really cool. And they have a really cool behavior when they're walking. They walk like this. They kind of shake. They're probably trying to mimic a tree leaf blowing in the wind, which is a form of camouflage. Okay, so anyway, watch all these really neat behaviors on this video. I think you're going to enjoy this. So enjoy this video on chameleons. Triple R hard. All the things that are on the planet test are up on RenWeb. So no excuses. I didn't know what was on the test. Sure you did. I went over everything, and it's up on RenWeb. Okay? Turned over to Mr. Gilbert. He'll run the video, and then he'll have a little bit of time maybe to clarify anything. All right? Run the video on chameleons.